Did you know that there are 7 types of rest? Well, Chicago-based certified sleep specialist and sleep coach, Dr. Angela Holliday-Bell is here, and she's going to break things down for us. Good morning, Doc.
Morning, Doc.
Welcome to
Welcome.
Smile Jamaica.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you guys so much for having me.
It's our pleasure. Who is a sleep coach? You coach me to sleep? What do you do?
Yeah, so it's more about coaching you through healthy habits to improve your sleep in order to improve your overall functioning and productivity. So I kind of give you the tools and the insights you need to fix your sleep and also coach you along the way because it can be hard and sometimes you need someone who's in your corner kind of helping to coach you along.
Yeah. How important is sleep, Doc?
Extremely important. I always tell people sleep is so vital to every facet of your functioning in both your physical and mental health. So if you're looking to live a healthier, more productive life, it really does start with sleep.
Yeah.
We were talking about the 7 different areas. The first one says physical rest, which is kind of contradictory because if I running up and down, I'm not resting. So what do you mean by physical rest?
So, physical rest is the type of rest that most people think of when we talk about rest, which is sleep. There are actually 2 different types of physical rest. So you have your passive physical rest, which is your sleep, the foundation to living a healthy life. I always, help people with their physical rest. There's also active physical rest, which seems a little bit more counterintuitive. But it really comes down to anything that is physically restorative to your body. So doing things like getting a massage or yoga or stretching are all things that are restorative to your body and encompass physical rest.
All right. Well, this one's very important. Mental rest. Tell me about that one.
So important. So I think one huge issue that we have is all walking around in kind of like a mental fog, right? You may have days where it's hard to really stay on task or it's hard to really concentrate on something that you're doing. You're constantly staring at a computer screen or you're constantly all these things are very taxing on your mental energy. It can cause depletion of your mental energy. So it's important that you take a step back from those things that are so mentally taxing. It can be as simple as scheduling in a mental break every couple hours at work where you turn off the computer screen, go for a walk, meditate, really give your mind that break to recharge. So when you come back into those settings, you're more productive, you're more interactive, and you kind of function overall better.
Okay. Sensory rest.
This one is also huge. So when you're looking at these bright computer screens, like I talked about, or with social media, your phone is constantly going off. You're getting emails, you're getting dings, you're getting ringing phones at work. All these things are taxing to your system, not to mention the bright overhead lights that we cause ourselves to sit in all through the day and even now at night. And what we don't realize is those things can lead to what's called sensory overload, where your senses are just constantly bombarded and overloaded. So a good way to rest from all of that sensory overload is to just take a break and unplug. Turn off your computer screen, turn off your phone, close your eyes, put in some earplugs, like literally deprive your senses for a second in order to recharge them so that they're not feeling so overloaded and you're not so overloaded.
Yeah. Creative rest, I find, is one of those that's not so easy to navigate because the brain is always going and you're always thinking and planning, and this is what I want to do. But you're saying one of the things you can find an activity that's going to get you to rest. Yeah, basically. Yeah.
And again, it's one of those things that I was like, how did I do that? But really, you just hit the nail on the head. We're constantly planning. We're constantly problem solving. That's a part of your day, whether at work or you're a parent, right? You're constantly problem solving with your kids and running a household. And all of that can be taxing on your creative system and you're depleting your energy there. So taking a creative rest is not only taking a step back from constant planning, constant, problem solving, constantly trying to find solutions, but also taking part in activities that are inspiring to you. So taking in some art or reading a good book are all ways to recharge your creative juices so that it's not something you're actively trying to create, but you're taking in the awe of a creation that's already there. And that helps to refill your energy.
Yeah. This one was easy for me, emotional rest. I think I need that to get my emotions back level. Tell me about that one.
Yeah, well, first of all, I'm glad it's easy for you. This actually tends to be one that is harder for other people. And that's because a lot of times we take on so many of other people's emotions. And like I said, as parents, in your job, especially if you have an emotionally taxing job, like a teacher, like a therapist, like a physician, you're constantly taking on other people's emotions. And so sometimes you have to take a step back and be able to divulge your emotions in a situation that is non-judgmental, that you can let your guard down. So doing something like seeing a therapist yourself, journaling, talking to a friend that you trust are all ways to help with that emotional depletion, as well as giving yourself permission to say no, or I'll think about it.
Yeah.
For our people pleasers who always want to say yes to everything, that can be draining. And so giving yourself permission to say, you know what, if I don't have that emotional energy, if I'm not restored in that way, it's okay to say no, or give me a second, let me think about it and I'll get back to you.
When I looked at the list of all the things, we tried to guess what they all meant. And then when we saw social rest, I was like, huh?
Yep.
Social rest? Define that for me.
Yeah, so social rest is actually probably one of the ones that is the most counterintuitive because you would think that it means taking a rest from social activities, which for certain people, that can definitely be the case. You kind of take a second to be alone. But what it actually refers to even more than that is engaging in social activities that are restorative to you. Finding your people that allow you to just be yourself. And when you're with them, you feel full of energy and you feel vibrant, as opposed to those social situations that you feel are draining to you, that you're constantly having to compete or you're constantly having to explain yourself. Like we've all had those situations where you're like, man, I feel more drained after leaving that than I did going in. So it's separating those two areas in your life and spending more of your time in those social situations that you find rejuvenating and allow you to be yourself and come out better on the other end.
Yep. Dr. Angela, we have another one. But before we go to that one, how do I know which one I need?
Yes, that's a great question. So we all will need all of those at some point in time. I'll start by saying that. And what the prescription for each individual is very different. And it really takes taking a step back and taking inventory of your own life and really day to day, because what you need today might be different from what you need tomorrow. So you have to really take inventory and stock of your day to day life and say, in what ways am I depleting myself? There's overlap between several of them as well. So you have to determine in what ways are you using your certain types of energy, and in what ways can you help to replete that energy so that you can come back to your whole self.
Yep. I didn't say the last one because I think the last one is the easiest one to understand. And the last one is spiritual rest. I think it's the easiest one to understand.
Absolutely, yes. Spiritual rest is huge. It can be so rejuvenating and restorative for individuals. And for individuals who are religious, it's easy reading your religious texts like the Bible, praying, meditating. But even if you're not, it really comes down to grounding yourself and tying yourself to a sense of purpose that's higher than you. So that can mean volunteering, that can mean helping a friend, that can mean a random act of kindness, just giving you a sense of purpose that goes beyond your kind of self in your day-to-day life.
Excellent. Excellent.
That's it. Very well explained. I'm impressed. Thank you so very much for speaking with us this morning. Look after yourself and God bless you and your family. Blessings.
Thank you so much for having me, guys. Take care.
It's our pleasure.
All right, Dr. Angela Holliday-Bell, sleep coach and corporate consultant. Choose a rest. That's good for you guys.
Yep.
It's important.
10 minutes to your health. We'll do it again next Thursday.